take the top three, if you will, wood, plastics, and metals. Can you give the viewers a handful of tips for each about techniques, how to process them, how to handle them?
Absolutely.
Start with wood.
Wood is a very interesting material to process on a laser, simply because with your engraving, you can get different looks to the engravings. So, like if you want a more burnt look onto the wood, it's often best to defocus the laser, so bring its intensity out, the focal point. So once you defocus, it'll widen the beam, and then it'll actually burn the wood a little more, and that can give you a darker mark on those woods. Now, plastics in particular, there's several different types of plastics and things like that. Typically, if you're running like a plastic laminate, I would recommend, taking your air cone off, your air assist cone off, and turning the air assist off while you're doing your engraving. That way you don't get dust settling back into your engraving. And that's often a big issue with certain colors, because you have a darker color on a lighter background, it might settle in and kind of distort it. And as far as metals, the big trick with metals is if you're using a CO2 laser and you're processing a coated metal or something like that, that's pretty straightforward and easy. But if you need to do bare metal with CO2, you would want to get a solution, a spray-on solution that you could use, such as Thermark or Surmark, and that would mark the metal. But a fiber laser is the most interesting to use with the metal products, simply because you can actually, just by changing your settings, get different looks and variations to your marks on the metal.